laugh when she's playing video games that drives me up the fucking wall. It's like if Fran Drescher were doing... It's like if Fran Drescher were trying to be a Disney villain, is what it comes off as. It's just like... I fucking hate it. And then on top of it, she does this fucking gremlin voice where she's like... I'm like, go the fuck away. Like, you are nails on a chalkboard to me. You gotta fucking stop this immediately. I was very nice 3 times today. Go Ducks. 3 times today. It was very nice. I said, please
thrice. Not once, not twice, but thrice.
And the second time I said, Mia, I really don't like that. Please don't do it again. I said, Mia, don't do it again. I don't like it. And then when you came on, you heard 4.
Yeah. See, I don't get to 4 usually.
I'm trying to yell less.
I yelled at Riv last week, and it was like the first. I don't remember last time I yelled at her before that.
Yeah, I'm trying really, really hard not to be the yelling parent anymore. It's fucking tough. But like, and when I talk to the kids, I'm like, look, I don't like yelling at people. I don't like the way I can tell it makes you feel. I don't like the way it makes me feel. But it's the only way I get a response.
Right. Because
when I ask nicely, it's back burner or whatever until I get to a fucking 11. And then you guys are walking around the house sniffling and wiping tears from your eyes.
Right.
Or you could just fucking take out the recycling the first time.
Yep. Yeah. I yelled at Riv because she has this stupid medicine she has to take every day. She hates it. It doesn't taste... I don't know. I've tasted it. I was like, it doesn't taste that bad. It's
What's
just
it for?
Really sweet. It's she gets constipated a lot. And this is it's constulose is what it's called. So it's
concentrated
and then
poop juice.
Ulose sugar. So it's really sweet. She just doesn't like it.
Can you put it in some Gatorade or something?
We've tried putting it in different stuff, and I don't know. I just don't argue. Usually I don't argue. But 2 days in a row, it got spilled. First day, she spilled it because it sat there for 6 hours and she didn't drink it.
She didn't take it.
Second day, it sat there for 4 hours and my dad spilled it. And I'm like, you need to fucking drink this shit. And I fucking poured her another thing of it now. We're not fucking playing any games. You're doing it now. And she drank it and she was like, okay. I'm like,
yeah, it's like, don't give me the when I've been yelling at you for 10 minutes to do the thing I told you to do 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I went down to Oregon beginning of last week, as you know.
Yeah.
I fucking needed to get out of here.
Yeah,
Football season's coming. Vacation's coming.
Dave said he would be on here. So that's the reason I'm at my room is because Dave was like, I'm finishing up air conditioning. So he was putting a hole in his wall so that he could have an air conditioner in his room because his room literally is the hottest place on the planet.
That sucks.
And so he was putting a hole for a vent thing. And then he said, I'm still cleaning up from the AC work and I eat something, so I'll record at home today.
And I eat something.
That's what he said.
Well, that's good. Oh, right. I was going to double up. So I'll show you. I'll just take it off my super effective stand here. So when Cash Cab came to visit, Ben said, is your camera stand just your camera taped on top of a bobblehead box? And Bailey said, Ben, what was your hint? The bobblehead box, the camera, or the tape? And so I've been using the Macklemore box.
Yeah.
But I've had this side, and I just cannot take that fucking look for an hour and a half anymore. This I can handle. That's fine.
But not this.
Not that. No. It's a different, whole different kettle of fish right there.
Where did he get that fucking Armada outfit?
That was like, when he started with Ryan Lewis, that was his look, and then he did Thrift Shop and realized he couldn't walk around looking like the fucking head of the Spanish Armada.
Right. Okay, we're calling Dave.
I don't care, man. That's still a banger.
Yeah, it's good, that song.
Hey, I'll be on in about 5 minutes.
Good, because you better.
Yeah, bitch.
I will. So I had. Oh wait, no, I'll tell you when I get. It's a good story.
All right, we got story time today.
Yeah. All right, later.
All right, later.
So we got a story time. How eventful can it be? You're cutting a hole in the wall and then installing should have just been, I told him go get a dryer vent because he's got one of those portable ACs.
Mm-hmm.
Literally all you need. 2 sides, slap them together, screw them together.
Makes sense to me.
Half an hour after you cut the hole.
I mean, I put in both of our window units in like 20 minutes, and I consider that to be a fucking feat. Because I had to like, our window, we got an AC from a friend of hers.
Uh-huh.
You may remember Kathy. And like the piece of foam that they cut out doesn't fit our window. So I was in there like retrofitting pieces of cardboard and shit.
Makes sense.
But now I've got a pretty airtight setup here. There we go. That's perfect. Now I can look through the camera at you.
Yeah.
There we go. I like it.
Does your camera have like the screw hole on the bottom where you could like use just a
Probably
mount or something?
I mean, it's the one that you got me, so almost certainly.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah,
actually,
I'm pretty sure it does.
Oh.
Yeah, it does. Okay, well,
Oh.
I just need a little.
Yeah.
I just need an actual little camera stand.
just use a camera mount or like a tripod.
There we go.
I have 8 billion of those things here, so.
Well, I have a camera tripod.
I think I got one right here even.
Hey, how about that?
Thought it was over there.
Mine is
I knocked down.
over there and down below.
Blue. Oh, dude, I went to the tree farm today because I was like, I gotta turn the shit on because I haven't done it in a while, and it's been so hot. I was like, I'm sure I'm
How
gonna have.
hot is it?
Well, today it's only 93 was the high, but yesterday was
That's not
107 or 108, one of the two, and then the day before was 103, and then the day before that was 101. And I was like, why would I run the water?
I saw a Simpsons meme. It was Bart being like, "This is the hottest summer of my life," and Homer's like, "But it's your coldest one for the rest of your life."
Pretty good.
I've never. How did I never notice your Underdog back there?
I don't know. He's been there for a while,
Love Underdog.
right?
Lovable shoe shine boy. Yeah, I used to watch that shit all the time. Like my dad would be asleep in the chair because he was working, 8 tens in a row, and then on call when he wasn't working.
Yeah.
At the hospital, and so he'd be assed out in the chair, and I'd just be sitting there watching Underdog, and Rocky and Bullwinkle was right after
Hong
Underdog.
Kong Phooey.
Hong Kong Phooey, hell yeah.
Guy.
Oh, speaking of all these old classic cartoons,
Yeah.
the channel that does like the old classic movies and TV shows and shit.
Yeah.
Like the Me TV, that's what I was looking for. They just launched Me Toons.
Ooh.
Which is
Did
all
you
the
see
old
Cartoon
school-
Network is gone?
What?
Yeah. Like went under 2 or 3 days ago.
I heard something about that.
I was going to send it to you and I was like, no, Jake's definitely heard it. So I didn't bother sending it.
I saw I saw like a graphic, and they're like, oh look, they paid tribute to these guys too, and I'm like, what are you talking about? But honestly, fuck Cartoon Network and fuck Adult Swim.
Yeah.
Like as somebody who has longed for his entire life to produce content, be known for his content, and get money for his content, fuck those guys. Like the voice actor Carrie Means for Frylock of Aqua Teen Hunger Force, one of the most popular shows in Adult Swim history, is doing cameo basically to pay for cancer meds. Like, he's got
Yeah.
no royalties. Like, the guys who created these shows they get nothing. So fuck William Street, fuck Cartoon Network, fuck Ted Turner.
Did you
I
know
like
the actors on The Office don't get royalties?
Really? Even in syndication?
Yeah. They or let me rephrase that. They get royalties, but they don't ever go up, and they don't change by like the I don't know $685 million contract Netflix paid. They don't get anything more. They get their standard royalties.
They just get like $500.
It's something like that. Yeah. It's so insane. That was part of what the writer's strike was about, or actor strike.
Streaming in perpetuity.
Yeah. That and AI. They were like, you can't have AI and blah, blah, blah.
We're like, no, we know.
Leave Allen Iverson alone.
We have seen what AI is capable of, and we know you're good. You're fine.
Talking about practice.
We're talking about sticking your dick in bread.
Ew.
Have you heard about that?
No.
Seen this? Have you read about this? So, yeah, apparently the Google AI, scours the internet for information to bring it back to you when you ask it a question.
Yeah.
So the question that was posed is, how can you tell if your loaf of bread is done, if it's baked completely? And there was a joke, possibly started on 4chan, I can't remember where, but it talked about the ancient German practice. I can't remember what it was, but essentially you stick your dick in the loaf of bread, and when you stick your dick in the loaf of bread, you find out that it's whether or not it's done when you pull it fresh out of the oven.
Yeah, you'll find out some things.
So
that's how we got the first yeast infections.
Yeah. I'm gonna Google it. How to see if your bread is done.
The old Google.
Oh, they fixed it. Now it says test with a toothpick.
Not tooth dick.
Yeah, toothpick. You got to put a tail on that thing.
Have you seen these girls that paint fucking freckles onto their faces, like as makeup? Like her.
Jen had it's like a sticker. Jen had that the other day, and I was like, what is that? What are we doing here?
Why? Just have a kid with me, and then you can have all of these.
Yeah, you don't have freckles.
Riv has tons of freckles.
Yeah, I had them when I was little. They're gone now.
Huh? Did they take your hair with it?
Yep. Hey, and our referee is balding.
Oh my god! Dude, did you watch any of that fight this weekend?
Which one? The Masvidal?
Yeah.
No, I was doing something when
it was
that
surprisingly good fight. Like for boxing, I'm not a big boxing fan.
I love.
I watch it when it's good, but
that's fair. I like good boxing.
Yeah, kind of like wrestling. I like good wrestling. I watch WrestleMania.
Exactly, and you like good wrestling and the weird shit I'll send you occasionally, and people right. And people dying.
Which explains our friend Superhuman.
There we go. I was like, wait. So Big Dave?
His name? I saw Big Dave 2 days ago.
See, that's how you do it. You gotta. That's how he did it. He like pulled them back so it looked like they're bigger than they are, and then he had decent triceps, so they look big. But I mean, I'm not exactly cut, and I'm getting it right there.
Yeah.
Big Dave.
Oh yeah, I was telling you about the water.
Oh, yeah.
So I turned on the irrigation last night because Joanne wants me to run it at night because it's too hot in the day, obviously.
Logical.
Water just evaporates, you're wasting it, and whatever. So I went down there, turned it on, go check the sprinklers, nothing. I'm like, fuck. All right, well, I'm not fixing it tonight because it's almost dark, and I don't know how long I'm going to be out here. So I went home, went back down there this morning. I'm like, I'm just going to walk the water line. I'm going to walk that line. And
because you're mine.
About
I walk the line.
100 feet from where I flipped the switch, it's blown apart. I'm like, fuck! I could have fixed that. So fix it, go turn it on, go check the sprinkler, nothing's working. I'm like, fuck!
Double fuck!
Go turn it back off, go walk again, and I see where it's blown apart again. I'm like, it's literally like the next connector. I'm like, son of a bitch. All right, fine. Fix that. Turn it back on. Go over. It's not working. I'm like, I'm not fixing it again. I'm going to figure out where it blew apart. Literally the next one, because I guess the heat made it all expand and shrink, expand, shrink. Motherfuckers. So
it's going to happen all the way down.
Yeah, and I was like, it was already noon and 87 degrees. I was sweating my balls off, and I'd already went in the river and made sure that wasn't the problem. Like, I thought maybe the suction line. Well, no, the suction line, like, it has to be. It's like if this is the end of the suction line, it has to be sitting like this. But if I tilt it 90 degrees too much, it's got a little flapper here. Let's do it this way. So this flapper sits here, and it's closed when it's this way, but if it's like this, it can leak water. So I thought it might have leaked water and maybe not getting enough suction. I didn't know. So anyway, I fixed that, even though it wasn't that fucked up. And then now I got to go back tomorrow. But I don't know if I'm going to go back tomorrow because I'm supposed to get Riv. Oh, I need to text her fat mom.
This is the longest 5 minutes of
I was just going to say, that was a long 5 minutes, bitch.
So I'll give you the epilogue of the whole I fuck that bitch, I miss that dog.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell the whole story during the podcast.
I saw it and I was like, what is wrong? Just skim to the bottom. Oh! I sent that to Bullet Sponge. I'm like, check out Jake's resume. Can't figure out why he's not getting any calls or whatever. And I was like, I feel partially to blame because
well, when I get
word, but it's Dave's fault really because it was his idea.
And it was my fault because I typed it. But I mean that's where it comes down to. But
in the end, right?
In the end, I mean, it all worked out for you know, like the person who's going to be interviewing me thought it was hilarious. She's like,
that's honestly maybe that's the way you fucking weed out the shitty jobs next time.
It might, honestly, you're probably onto something there. There are times I sent a cover letter. One of my favorite cover letters I ever sent. It said, in the movie Pursuit of Happiness, Will Smith's character shows up to a job interview wearing no shirt and a pair of pants. And they said, or they said wearing no shirt. And they said, what would you say if we told you we hired a man not wearing a shirt? Hi, Dave.
Oh, hi, Dave.
Must have had some good pants.
He responded, he must have had on a really nice pair of pants. Please accept my resume as a really nice pair of pants.
I like it.
They didn't call me, but they knew where I stood.
Right.
What's that, Dave?
Are you talking about Pursuit of Happiness?
That was where, I was referencing that because in my cover letter, I write.
Did you say Will Smith or Will Ferrell?
Smith.
Because I heard Will Ferrell, because I was thinking when you were talking about getting a job, and I was thinking he's going to talk about tuxedo, and then didn't, and then I got really confused because I wasn't listening the whole time.
That happens, man. I can't tell you how many times I've tuned back in realizing someone was talking to me for like 10 minutes. I'm like,
And it's just Dave drunk at a football game.
Just trying to pick up. I'm just trying to pick up context clues of the conversation.
Like,
I'm
where
like,
are we at? Oh, we're on page 7. Gotcha.
What have we been talking about for the last 5 minutes? I've been in this conversation. I've said things. What did I say?
I've heard it either way.
Heard it both ways.
Oh, man.
So
yeah, I gotta write down stuff. Did I write it down? I wrote down things.
Your lamp is really bright, Dave.
Oh yeah, I got it. I flipped around today. I usually have my back to the lamp. There we go.
Oh, I wrote notes. I was like, what is this? You can. Oh yeah, it was a question. I got a question to ask you guys.
Is this another which celeb is hotter?
Well, I also that's what this page is.
There we go.
Who would you rather bone? Jack Nicklaus or Meg Ryan? Jack Nicholson or Meg Ryan?
Jack Nicholson, 1978.
Jack
Meg
Nicholson
Ryan
or Jack Nicholas?
Jack Nicholson, 78.
Jack Nicholson.
Meg Ryan.
Gatorade.
Gatorade.
So yeah,
I've been doing a lot more stuff outdoors this summer than I did
Little-
last summer.
outdoors day.
Outdoorsy.
I've been drinking a lot more Gatorade than I have in the past. It's just like it's been hitting the spot. You know what I mean? Like I could just get some cold water, but Gatorade.
You can get some vitamin. You can get
Gatorade.
some coconut water.
It's with a
Mhm.
high quality
Ooh,
H2O.
I do love me some coconut water.
I got some
I love
coconut
some
water.
Coke too.
I got some coconut water the other day because I did not want to share with my kids. It's like I'm like, here, do you want to try this? They're like, yeah. Oh, it's gross. Perfect. Like I'll be drinking coconut water all summer.
Mhm. You can just have cases of coconut water, and you know it'll never get touched.
Never. No one's
Mhm.
gonna touch it. It's like Sprite. I kind of leaned into Sprite because what would happen? I don't drink soda as much as everybody else in this house, and so when it's time for me to want a soda, we'll come around and we'll be out of soda. And I'm like, well, what? So then I have to go down to the store and get a soda. It's fucked up. So I just decided I was going to lean into how much I like Sprite because no one else in this house really likes Sprite. So I've always got Sprite around.
That sounds like a very dad thing to do.
Mhm.
Yeah. I was upset today because I realized I was out of Sprite.
My dad buys like 3 boxes of Little Debbie snacks a week, at least, and hides
week?
them under his desk.
Like in the same spot.
Yeah, like they're-
nobody's-
you can see them, and I look at them. I'm like, that's where you hide the stuff that makes you fat. Gotcha.
From where you sit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat one.
Don't go anywhere.
Hang on.
Hold up.
What next time I come down and be like, man, I could really go for a little Debbie snack cake. You have any
He'll
little
be
Debbie
like,
snack cakes?
You know what he's gonna say? The store's right down the street.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like stores are. I'm like, you ain't got any here?
Nope. None for
Ah.
you.
I'd be like, sounds like a load of bullshit to me, Bill.
Well, he's full of it. So
It's funny how like in the 15 years that I've known your dad, like the conversation I have with him has evolved in 15 years.
right.
Like, because at first I was like, okay, I'm a 21-year-old kid and this is someone else's dad, so I'm gonna give them the proper respect I would my dad and do that, and because that's how I was raised. And now I'm like, Bill, will you shut the fuck up? I'm trying to smoke a joint over here.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. When you are comfortable saying your friend's parents' first name,
Right.
that's when you know you've leveled up as a
Unless it's Pam or Doug and you are
Right.
already above them.
right.
Yeah.
Because the kids called them Pam and Doug.
Yeah.
Duh.
I do. It's just talking about your dad. Your
think about your
birthday
dad.
burger. I don't think
Yeah.
I've told Jake this one. So for Robin's birthday burger,
It was
Bill's
like this big.
right, and Bill's like, "Hey, what do you want on it?" And I told Robin, "Tell him everything." So Bill, being Bill, and he thinks he's gonna get me. He's like, "Oh, he wants everything. He's gonna get everything." And then he comes into the room and he's like, "Hey, Dave, how was your burger?" I was like, "Perfect. It had everything on it, just like I asked."
Just like I asked for.
He's
Put
like, "Guess
4
which
slices
cheese?"
of
Yeah.
cheese. Yeah.
He's like, "Guess which cheese I used?" I'm like, "I don't know." He's like,
All of
"All
them."
of them." I was like,
Yep.
"Perfect. That's again exactly what I asked for."
Thank you for obeying me.
Yeah, but it's just fun because I do that every time, or I'll ask him if he's got like random cheeses, like Havarti.
You got Munster?
I
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
remember the name of that one, or he would have probably tried to find some.
Right?
My dad and I'm sorry, continue.
Oh no, I was just gonna say it's just funny how because I've known Robin and I've known Bill for so long, he's always like, "I want to get him." I'm like, "No,
Oh,
you're not
yeah.
getting.
No,
You're getting me
not.
exactly what I asked for. You're getting me what I wanted."
My dad and I, we used to hang out at the Elks Lodge bar when we were both Elks, fitting. And there was one bartender who would never quite key into the joke. So he'd come around, we were sitting there, we've got our beers in front of us, we're watching a football game or whatever. And the guy's like, "Hey, can I get you guys anything?" And my dad would go, "You got any cottage cheese back there?" Just, I'd be like, "No, we don't. How about you?" I could really go for some crab rangoon. He's like, the kitchen's closed. I don't think we have that.
Kitchen's closed.
It would just every time we'd go in. Hey, can I get you guys anything? Yeah. Can I get the key to a Volkswagen Rabbit, please? Specifically, a blue one, if at all possible.
You think you could run to the store real quick?
How like I'll watch the bar.
Yeah.
Don't worry about this. The liquor will be here. It might be in me, but it'll be here
It's not going anywhere.
for a minute.
Deposit it into the bathroom when I'm done.
I might turn it into urine. Yeah.
I'm going to be an alchemist and turn this solvent into waste.
I did have a really good time when we all hung out at the Elks Lodge in Milwaukee.
That was so much fun.
That was
the time.
yeah, like we were there for the funeral. Everyone from the funeral left, and we're just like, there's a bar here,
And they're showing the fight.
and there's the fights. So we just kind of this is like one of the few times we didn't do the act like you belong there thing.
Mhm.
Because we all kind of walk in and we're just like can I
See,
be here?
I at least had the lingo. Like I
Yeah.
was ready. I was ready
Right.
because
Yeah.
I'm a wayward elk right now. So if
Mhm.
I walked in there and said, "Hey, you know, like I'd say, hey, you know, Lebanon 1633, it shut down. I don't have an Elks Lodge anymore, but I'd love to take a look at yours. You mind if we have some drinks and we just want to watch the fights?" And
Snacks.
they'd be like, "Oh, sure, yeah, we love it. Hey, you want some
Yeah.
information about getting your dues back up? You can join our lodge. You know, we got a lot of neat stuff here."
Yeah, you guys just gave us some money, so I mean, we're good.
The Corvallis Elks Lodge actually has a gun range in it.
Of course it does.
Who's becoming an elk?
Dude, like
Corvallis.
the
Well,
elks are basically useless at this point, but like there's still a decent organization.
Right.
That's
Well,
a
good
good
people
way
involved.
for you to hang out with people your own age.
Well, that's what we came to that conclusion sitting at the Elks in Milwaukee. Because I was like, man, when I go to Corvallis, I think I might join the Elks. Because then I'm just drinking with other people and not dealing with 20-somethings. Like, I'll go to the bar when I'm trying to smash some chicks. But if I just want to drink and not deal with people,
Go to the Elks.
Elks.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's yeah. You could. I mean, couldn't you also go into not the VFW? What's the other one?
I could do VFW.
The Lion.
Can you do VFW?
Mhm.
Forgive my ignorance. How are you able to do VFW?
It's anyone that's
You just got to get on your
Yeah.
knees.
yeah.
He's all, yeah. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
no.
Wait,
Yeah,
no.
no.
He wasn't
Wrong initiation.
All right, man.
From what I've understood, it's kind of
Don't
like,
understand
whatever.
what
I
he
get letters from
said,
the
all right,
VFW all
man.
the time.
See, I understand that you're a V, but I don't know if you're a part of any FW.
I was
Fucking
in the
wieners.
FW part.
What's
I was in the FW zone.
Oh, okay. Well, then that
I-
counts. Fuck
yeah,
it. I'll shut the
that's
hell
where
up.
it counts.
That
Yeah,
counts.
Get your zone.
Yeah. My mom, she was in England, but she can be in the
Yeah, I'll tell you,
VFW
my uncle.
because she was there for Desert Storm. So there you go. All right, man.
Said that
Put your
already.
You
burrito
people.
down, Dave.
Subway,
Ready for a good show?
a whole foot long.
I am.
11 inches, actually. Cool. You look like The Rock.
Yeah.
All right, here we are. We're back again.
Right.
It's another edition. It's another episode of my show. And I'm going to wait for him to finish chewing so he does his whole more beautiful talking into the microphone. It's Dave.
Swallows.
I know fake chewing when I see it.
Mmm,
This tastes good. Mmm.
That is a tasty burger.
That is a tasty burger. I'm still chewing it. Mmm.
That's like, have you seen videos of that food reviewer? She's a funny looking Asian chick who doesn't actually bite the food.
no.
No.
You haven't seen this? She's got
Negative.
an Instagram
Has he
page
heard about this?
and she does food reviews, but she very clearly like if she was reviewing the sandwich, she'd go, "All right, I'm gonna take my first bite of the sandwich." She goes, and you're like, "There's no bite
You didn't bite that.
taken out of that." But anyway, she gets tons of views, but it's mostly people being like, "You're retarded." And by most people, that's me on her Instagram last night, going from video to video.
Just every one of them. You're retarded.
You're retarded.
Retarded.
Making up new Instagram pages just to say it.
So you're gonna introduce Robin?
No.
After that sip, because I had to olive stuck in my throat.
Yep.
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 Anyways, you can't see his eyes.
You see one of them.
You see one eye. No eyes.
The brown eye.
They don't call them all No Eye Robin. Nothing. It's Robin.
Very good.
It's very good.
Yeah, no, I got eyes. I just was like, since
You have eyes?
I'm gonna ices. Do you like ices? Jerks. Yeah, I thought since I'd be inside because Dave isn't here and it's also too hot to be outside. Kind of glad you didn't come over here. That I would be like, oh yeah, I gotta use the inside lights, and I don't like lights, so I put sunglasses on. Seems to be paying off. Anyway, bringing it back around for the real big payoff. The hoop snake.
Touching tips at the top.
Jake. He's doing it. He traveled.
Jake.
There's a
It's
travel.
me, One Take Jake, back in the saddle. That was a false start. But yeah, we got plenty to talk about. Some of my follies, some questions from Robin, and yeah, we got some good stuff. So
I've got my Adventures to Canyonville story that made me late.
oh right. We were trying to figure out why you were late because it's the same recording time.
Mhm.
It's not the same recording day, but
Same recording Dave though.
same bat time, same bat Dave.
Same Bat Dave is the name of the episode.
That's a good leader. But yeah,
Bat Dave.
I'm Bat Dave. So why were you late, David?
So after I got done installing my new air conditioning, hence why I'm in my room
With a shirt on.
with nipples hard, testing it out.
Not mine. Mine aren't.
So you guys both know Canyonville, very small, sleepy town in Southern Oregon.
Was there today?
So I go down there.
Snapchat.
Oh, I haven't looked at it.
I didn't send
What
it
a surprise!
I didn't send it to you because you never look at them.
That's true. So anyways, I'm going into town to grab some Subway, go turn off the fan and hit some lights on at the trailer, right? A real quick 10-minute job. As I'm going into town, I see this
Never a 10-minute job.
random lady walking out of the
10-minute
cemetery.
job. Good name.
How much for the 10-minute job?
If
You
you
have
gotta
to
ask, you can't afford it. So random lady coming out of the cemetery
Was she dead?
and like a sundress with jeans on and no shoes. And I'm like, oh, that's a homeless.
That's
Son-
a homeless.
That's a homeless.
And as I get closer and I start seeing her
You're right.
through the trees, I see white, red and blue just start flashing. I'm like, oh, the cops are following her through the cemetery. So
They
I'm
were,
like,
they were just looking for all the people they shot to try to get
Right.
put fucking false convictions on them.
just sprinkle some crack on them, Johnson.
Open and shut case, Johnson.
No, that was a coffin, sir.
Okay, so I pass her. I'm like,
That
okay,
joke
that's
was
weird.
better than you guys acted.
I wonder what she's doing in the cemetery. So I gotta drive on, get my Subway. I go down to the mom's trailer to do our night thing that we always do for it. And there's kids like on the tables, like jumping around and playing around. And I'm like, yo, the park's like down there. So I whip into the parking lot, slam my brakes. I'm like, cool, I get to be like old angry guy.
Nice. Justified angry guy.
Yep. I get out and I shut my door. I'm like, hey, what's up? And they're just like, huh? And then I said,
Huh?
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 What?
Hey, what do you
Like,
guys do? Huh?
Huh?
And I'm like, what are you guys doing? And they're like, oh, we're just hanging out. And I'm like, go hang out somewhere else. I'm like, I don't know what to do because I don't want.
Not be here.
Yeah, 'cause I'm like,
There's
I'm
five
not-
of you.
Yeah. And they're like, well, we're not doing anything. I was like, in my head, I'm like, I'll beat up a 12-year-old. You don't know my name. So anyways, I'm like just annoyed by that. So I go and do the thing. I wait around a little bit for them to take off. They do. On the way out of town, get Subway. Oh yeah, I forgot. I stopped the Subway. Old dude walks up and is literally a foot behind me breathing.
I don't abide that shit.
Yeah.
I wheel on motherfuckers in line when
Mhm.
they do that shit.
Right?
I will turn around and I will get in your face and I'll be like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, you are not getting any closer to the door by butt fucking.
Should have just bent over right in front of him. Just
start twerking.
Hi, puppy.
I'm just gonna start twerking in front of dudes when they get
yada
too
yada
close.
yada yada.
So anyways, I turned around, I was like, can I help you? And he's just like, oh, just look at the menu. I'm like, look at it over there.
It's Subway. They've got a meatball, they've got the cold cut trio, and anything else sucks.
Sandwich, heard of it?
You don't want a churro. Come on, be honest.
Yeah. Okay, then I'm heading back, and I stopped to get some Zin or Rogue or whatever.
So hold on. How many minutes do you think you lost bullying 12-year-olds?
7. I checked my watch because I knew what time it was, and I lost 7 minutes waiting for children.
Okay, all right.
So anyways, heading out of town, realized I didn't have any Zin.
It wasn't 18 years.
Right.
He's not Drake.
No, not draking them.
At least it wasn't 14 years.
I'm not draking him. Oh my god. I'm not draking him is the name of this episode.
Yep.
That's forever. Like, from now on, anytime someone is being weird around a minor, I'm gonna tell them, stop draking that girl.
Yeah. Just draking them across the coals over there.
Yeah, holy cow. Congratulations, Dave. That's money.
So anyways, I stop at Canyon Market to grab some Zin, and as I'm walking in, homeless chick from the cemetery's there, and
From
then
before
another
or after?
Before, the one that was at the cemetery, she's at the store now.
Did
I
she
keep
shake the
saying
police?
I guess she did. But anyways, there's another one,
lame
and this
cops.
one is in a fat white one who's bald.
All right.
Yeah, my screen just cut out for no reason.
Yeah, both yours, like, they went flipped and then back to where they are.
All right, cool.
But so fat, old, bald white lady in a sundress that should not be wearing a sundress is sitting on the curb, and I'm walking in, and cemetery chick is talking to herself in the window, and I'm like, oh, so I like walk wide. I give her a wide berth, but but that trajectory sends me closer to fat bald one.
Oh god.
And so now I'm like in between trying to get to the door.
You got too many good country sensibilities in you, man.
And I look over, and fat bald white one looks at me, and she says, "What are you looking at, bitch?" And I just start laughing out loud. And I was like, are you in an It movie?
Hell, float down here.
Yeah, and it stops me dead in my tracks in between the homeless. And I'm just like staring at her, and I'm like, this is like the weirdest trip to Canyonville I've ever had in my entire life. I love it. So I go in to get my Zin, roll out.
Hey, see, this is why you can't have me around for these sorts of situations. Because as soon as she said, "What the fuck are you looking at, bitch?" Lights are out, and
Switch has been flipped.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I
like,
had heard her
you
yell at
insulted
other
me
people
for no reason.
Yeah.
Now I get to insult you for a lot of reasons.
Right. I don't
Right.
have the ability to not react to that. Like, my instinct is I haven't figured it out yet. Whatever it is, it ain't a lot. Like,
Yeah, not much, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, Jesus.
Someone,
I had a
some
Canyonville
parents,
story too.
fucking some parents' disappointment. That's what I'm looking at. God damn.
Oh.
What are they dead? You will be too. Get the fuck out of here. Who
Yeah.
cares?
I didn't know this parking lot became a saving grace.
Is that why you're in the fucking cemetery to begin with? Get the fuck out of here.
Wait, I wonder if I can find the video. It might still be on there. Probably not, though. From Jake. From me. Nope, I can't save it. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I went to the tree farm, did a bunch of shit. We talked about it in the pre-show. Then I went to the casino because I was like, oh, I still have $5 free slot play for my birthday. But I was also thinking I have money in my bank account, so I could spend more if I lose this $5 I have.
There you go.
Won 5, so I had 10, and I was like, I want to keep playing. Kept playing, lost the 10, and was like, well, getting $20 out. Got $20 out, won 55, cashed out, left.
There you go. That's a win.
And I was like, I need to go to the pharmacy now, pick up ibuprofen because my knee sucks. And as I'm walking back out to my car, I look across the street, and there's this homeless dude, no shirt on, shorts. I think he may have had shoes of some sort. He's got a mountain bike and what looks to be a 10-foot ladder attached to the back of his bike with wheels on the back.
That's what that was. I was trying to figure. I could not figure out what I was looking at.
And I see the owner of the store, who is Indian, Dot, not Feather, and he's like, "Could you please kindly move your bicycle, sir?" And I just like, "Oh, that's awesome! I have a business here."
I am trying to run a business, my friend.
Oh, it was awesome. I was like, why are there so many homeless in Canyonville?
Right?
You got kicked out of Eugene.
It's probably the free coffee and soda at the casino, but they get kicked out pretty quick too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I imagine they've got like a homeless person task force there at the casino that's like, hey, you.
I have heard from someone that works in Glendale that Josephine County ships their homeless up to Douglas County.
Yep.
I buy it. I believe it. I mean, we've been doing that in a bigger sense for a long time. Like,
it's just a cycle of homeless people, though. They just ship them from one county to the other. They're like, all right, go be homeless in another county.
Do you remember the South Park episode with the homeless?
No.
So the homeless basically are taking over the country. And Cartman gets a big school bus, makes it all, Mad Maxes it out, and then puts a stereo system on top of it and starts singing to the tune of California Love. He's like, California is cool to the homeless. California, now, super cool to the homeless. In the city of Bakersfield or Santa Monica.
That's awesome.
And then all the homeless start following the bus all the way to California.
Yeah.
It's just, they just move them. Like Oregon used to ship them to Idaho. Just send them to Boise.
Why not?
There's nothing else there.
We got to send that the one in the sundress down to San Antonio.
There's some big old women down in San Antonio. I love, like, I've never been to San Antonio. Probably never will go to San Antonio. I take that back. My dad wants to take me to San Antonio for some fucking reason.
There's some big old women.
Some big old women.
Big old women in San Antonio.
Now, the big old women that I'm interested in would be in Houston.
Oh, yeah.
Figure it out for yourself, people.
Black.
That didn't get louder when you got closer. That was weird.
Well, that's because my microphone is right here.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
I can,
Oh, yeah. Hey, guys.
I can pick it up. I can fuck it up. I'm really good at fucking shit up.
We're here to fuck shit up.
Speaking of fucking shit up, so listeners of the podcast will remember a few weeks back, Dave came up with the parody country title of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck that bitch.
Dave had the concept. I had the words.
Dave's I was Dylan-esque in the way I was inspired by DKD over here. And fuck that bitch, but I miss my dog. Someday we'll be charting, but for now, it's just at the bottom of my resume.
Did you see that picture, Dave?
I did. I saw that one.
So what happened was, so Jen's company is losing their support person, like the person who does their scheduling, the person who answers the phone, client relations, all that sort of stuff. And I went, hey, you know what I'm really good at? Talking to rich people. I could do that job. Jen kind of looks at me like, you could do that job. So I'm going to send in a resume and a cover letter. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, cool. So I type up a real nice cover letter, send it off. And here's where I made the mistake. So when you said "fuck that bitch," but I miss my dog, I had 2 Word documents open. And one of my Word documents is typically my notes, things that I want to remember, and the other Word document was my resume. Guess which one I opened? It just typed in "fuck that bitch, but I miss my dog." Enter. So it got sent to my wife's boss, essentially. And she said, Jen, did you help your husband proofread his resume? She says, no, I proofread his cover letter. She's like, well, you might want to take a look at it. And there at the very bottom, black and white, it says, "fuck that bitch, but I miss my dog." Now,
that is hilarious.
The good news is she thought it was really funny. So I'm not immediately out. And even if she didn't think it was funny, I have something of an ace in the hole to say, look, he made a mistake. He's an idiot. Sometimes he's stupid. But she thought it was funny. It's fine. She's like, but other people might not find the humor in it.
I'm like, send you another one there.
Yeah, like that's fair. That's completely fair. I get that. It's unprofessional and unbecoming of someone looking for a job.
I'll be coming.
So I was concerned that I had sent the PDF version of my resume, and I always take my Word document and make it a PDF just so nothing like this happens. And if I had sent the PDF version, it wouldn't have been there. But I had my mouse and I went click, and I picked the wrong one. So it's not on my official resume. So I'm just not getting hired because there's no actual jobs.
Yeah. There's jobs, but they don't want to hire anyone.
Right. There's jobs, but they would have to pay someone money to do that job. So exactly. They're making money now with not having someone do that job. So if we just continue to not pay someone to do that job, we'll just keep having this money.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we'll make Bill do it. Not your dad, but just a guy named Bill.
Bill.
Beer.
Bill Guy, the science dude.
Have you seen the Chinese Bill Nye the Science Guy?
No, I've seen the Chinese Elon Musk.
All right, you guys riff amongst yourselves for a minute here.
Oh, Beer Nye.
Well, while he does that, I'll ask this question that I was going to ask. If you could eliminate one person from history, not Hitler, who would it be?
One person from history. Ronald Reagan.
The good one. I said Hitler's mom, but I was like, I feel like
that's kind of a cheat.
loophole.
Yeah.
Hitler's grandma? No.
Hitler's art teacher that told him he wasn't good at art. Because if she would have just supported him.
All right, I got it. Found it. Yeah, if someone would have just helped little Addie. Little Addie. All right, here we go. So this is, as I bring the screen, the sharing of the screen, what we have here is Bill Nye the Science Guy in China.
Is it Beer Nye?
倒数7秒，计时开始。
There it is.
I almost died.
Saw that.
And as you saw, I was playing a little bit of the drinking game there.
Mm-hmm.
Every time they say beer, you got to drink your beer.
Drink.
Beer.
Many beers.
I think it could be a fun addition to the tailgate tradition.
Mm-hmm.
And if I stay out long and sing all night long, it's just a tailgate tradition.
There we go. Ooh, why isn't that a song? Write that down.
Right.
Make sure it's on the right notes.
Yep. Wait. Make sure it's in the right document here. Like, Jake, would you mind telling us what a tailgate tradition is? Like, well,
You give me a job.
well, give me a job and I'll tell you.
Why can't you just tell us now? If I tell you now, then you're gonna do it, and then I can't do it.
Yeah, then I can't do it.
Yeah.
But in actuality, what I realized is that with this major, like, it's not a major gaffe, but in professionalism, it's kind of a big fuck up. Like, especially when I'm coming to someone and say, "Hey, let me talk to your customers." Fuck, bitch.
Sorry,
If nobody says fucking bitch.
Yeah, if nobody says fucking bitch, I'll be fine. But I realized that what this is really going to give me is an opportunity to demonstrate how I deal with my mistakes. Instead, like, I can go in there and say, "Oh man, I was doing this, I was doing that, blah blah blah. Something happened, somebody messed up." Or I just say, you know what? I just tell them the story.
I was dealing with my wife's kids.
I was dealing with kids.
No, you say it specifically, my wife's kids, because they know you're married to
Right.
Jen. It's funnier that way.
It's funny because, like, I mean, I'm sure you've dealt with this too. There are times when your daughter is having a problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not mine. My daughter's not having. Your daughter's having a problem right now. You are the one that's got to go deal with it.
I've definitely said, you are your mother's child. And I feel stupid because I'm like, but only a little bit.
Only a little bit.
Not that much.
You know,
Just in this short period of time.
Right now,
Right now.
you're acting very much like this person.
very much. I've said it before. Like, the kids may not look like me, but god damn it, do they act like me?
Yeah.
Like, I look around. I realize, like, for the summer heat, I've been walking around in, like, just shorts, like, only shorts. I look over at Nolan, and he's walking around in just shorts for like a week. I'm like, oh, I see you. Suddenly his hat's on backwards. Weird.
And then you're like, hey, that's my thing.
Like, hey, you didn't
Only
like
one
Ken
of us
Griffey
can
Jr.
wear a hat.
Find your own thing, nerd.
Yeah, get out of my face. Let's see. Hang on. 1, 2,
Get
3,
out of
4,
here,
5,
nerd.
6, 7, 8, 9. You don't have 10 Ken Griffey Jr. bobbleheads. Get the fuck out of my face.
Oh, what if he secretly did?
I would be impressed.
It would be pretty funny.
Because I would mean he had all the Griffies. I'd be fucking
Right.
impressed. But actually, I have 11. There's one over there too.
Oh,
It's just for sale.
There's got to be. I mean, you've got way more experience in it than me, but there's got to be a huge amount of satisfaction when your stepkids or your girlfriend's kids or something start doing you things.
Mm-hmm.
Because I still remember, and this is probably one of my prouder, like, halfway stepfather moments, was
when that
Sarah's
dog-
kids.
Oh.
No, Sarah's kids were playing, and the oldest got hurt, and he was being kind of cryy. He was a crier.
Yeah.
And his little brother walks up to him and says, "Hey, is it broken?" He's like, "No." He's like, "Is it bleeding?" He's like, "No." He's like, "Stop crying." And I was just like, "Oh, that's a me thing. That's what I told him." And I'm just like, I'm sitting there, and Sarah, and I said that exactly. Like, that was my natural reaction, was just like, bite my fist, like, oh my god. And Sarah looks at me and she says, "Stop." I'm like,
Stop.
"No, but you know how cool
You
that
know
is,
where that
right?"
came from.
Like, you know,
Right,
that's cool.
right.
Like, that's super cool. And
Yeah,
now I miss that dog.
My favorite go-to, if somebody's hurt. Oh, I'm hurt. Like, all right, let me see your finger. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is terrible. We're gonna have to amputate. Usually by the time I get to we're gonna have to amputate, they're either like, oh my god, dad. Or they're laughing.
Yeah.
Either way, they're not crying.
See, I can't do that with Riv because she gets apocalyptic about it. And she'd be like, "Oh my god, you're right." Like, she's gonna go along with it. Like, we gotta go to the doctor. I'm like, it's literally a scratch. Look, I have a scratch right here, bigger than that. I'm gonna pick the scab. Look, now I'm bleeding more than you.
Yeah.
Oh, you need a Band-Aid too, then.
No, I don't.
No.
It will stop.
Look, it's done. I'm fine.
Did your family pull the knife too growing up when they said they'd have to amputate? Like, my family always, like, they took it up a notch.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, we need to amputate. It's whoosh, knife. We need to cut this off.
Dave,
and I've got the knife now.
My dad worked in surgery. We had
Yeah.
scalpels in the house.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a scalpel.
He had multiple.
He's like, I know where to take it off at the knuckle.
He's like, I mean, we could sterilize it. We can numb it up. We've got that. We can all sorts of things.
I've got all the stuff.
He had Novocaine and shit. He's like, all right, let's go.
Let's go. Let's shoot you on up. Here we go.
It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, did
Have
you
you
watch
ever-
any movies this week?
Oh, I did. But before I get to that, have you ever had Novocaine injected into a part of your body that wasn't your mouth?
Yes.
It's so weird.
When they cut that thing that I had on my back, that's what they used. And I was like, hey, this sucks.
Like we know. When I
Like,
had,
hey, I'm not getting mouth surgery.
you're like, all right, here comes a Novocaine. You're like, why? When I have naturally, well, I don't anymore. My toenails curled like on my big toe, so I had
Ooh.
my toenails would ingrow all the time.
Yeah.
And so I had to go and they surgically like cut the nail and killed the bed. And I remember my toe being numb, and only my toe being numb, and it was being so weird. I could feel the scissors like cutting through the keratin of my nail, but I didn't feel any pain. I just felt pressure.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, this is, and like there was a huge rubber band, just like my toe was purple by the time it was done. I'm sure it wasn't supposed to be, but then they pour the acid on your foot, and then they're like, all right, don't kick anything for a while.
Mhm.
Like, okay.
So did you lose the whole nail or just that part?
Just I have like 80% of my nail on both my big toes,
Gotcha.
but like it's a raw edge on the side.
Huh.
It's not like it doesn't fold in, like your fingernail's supposed to.
So
it just kind of sits.
I'm distracting Dave's question, but if you were to, what if they would have just removed the nail? Would it have grown back with the curl on the side?
If they had removed, yes,
Weird.
because it had something to do with the shape of my toe.
Gotcha.
And
I get it
the
now.
way it like just naturally
Like
followed
yeah.
the topography of my foot.
Crazy.
David.
Oh, I was just gonna say, so I don't have that bad. The outs or the insides of both my big toe do that.
Mhm. That's where mine were.
But it's not one of those like, because my dad's the same way where it's always like that. Mine is like it grows. I can cut it and then be
cut it
good
up.
for like 3 months, and
Dave
then
with
it'll
the
start
toe
to
knife.
flare up. Yeah, but I was gonna say the problem with always doing things in flip flops in the summer is I stub my toe a lot because I'm not wearing shoes.
Oh.
And right now my left toe is going through it's flaring up, and I need to cut it out again. And I stubbed my toe on a chainsaw earlier and almost curled up on the ground because it hurt so bad. I was just like,
Oh my god. Okay,
and
first of all, why are you on a chainsaw and flip flops? But also,
Because he's island people. Come on.
fair enough. Yeah,
Well, no,
I
it was
realized
just-
the answer as soon as I asked the question.
it was just sitting on the ground. I was running a handsaw, but
You were running
Not-
a handsaw.
yeah, I was cutting a board.
Yeah.
A circuit. Oh, see, I heard
Circular
handsaw.
saw.
Buzzer.
Oh,
I
no.
heard.
Yeah, I was up there. No, I was making a
That's
patch
pretty
for
good.
my wall.
Oh, we need to hear about the wall too. Dave's got
Oh,
air conditioning. That is
and-
also why you're late, you motherfucker.
Installing air conditioning into a room that doesn't have a window. Guess what happens? A hole goes in your house.
Yeah.
So basically, I just
Holes
so,
in this house. There's some
There's some holes in this house.
There are
There's
some holes in this house. and the roofs are brand new. Oh no, dude, this thing was a
Just write
project.
that down.
So I set the air conditioner up and the exhaust tube. I'm like, all right, cool. This is where I want. So I start cutting. As soon as I start cutting, I get about half of the hole done, and I realize there's a crossbeam, a random crossbeam, no window. And I don't know everything about framing a house, but you don't usually do a lot of cross beams.
Mm-mm.
It's all vertical, and then you do
Mhm.
cross beams on your windows or door frames and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So there's a random cross frame, and I'm like,
Load bearing.
this is a load bearing wall. So I'm just like, okay, what's this here? I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just go down 6 inches
Yeah, me too.
and finish up. I start cutting into their main power line. And I'm like, son of a bitch.
So that's what the crossbeam was for.
No, they're not connected. It's not, it's literally cross beam 6 to 8 inches down, just a random wire, and it's a main. Looks like a main. I don't know enough about electricity either.
Me either.
I'm like, but that's a big wire to be just floating around. And I'm like, again, I don't know a whole lot about electrical work, but that's not what they do.
That's not up to code.
Also, this house was built in the 50s by a man that didn't build houses, so.
Ours has, if you go, you know how we have the panels off because my dad's replacing the siding.
Mhm.
Ours there's 2 of them, 2 cross beam, like they're
Like
4 feet
bracers.
apart,
Yeah.
3.5 feet apart, something like that.
Mhm.
I think a lot of it, and it is on ours, it's for running the wires. Like
Yeah.
you've got like stuff spaced so that you can run it behind things and over things, and 2.5 or 2x2s and 1x2s and a bunch of shit. It's a trailer though, so it's weird.
Yeah.
Right.
Holes in this house.
But yeah,
There's some holes
so
in
basically,
the house.
I just needed an 8 by 14 hole, and I ended up with an 8
Don't we all?
by 34-inch hole because I kept cutting and finding stuff. So I'd cut some more and find some, and I was like, okay, I'll go the opposite direction. How about that? So I can't go down any further. The exhaust port won't go lower. So I'm just like, well, I'm just gonna start cutting up. So then I end up with this just strip that's a hole in my wall, and I'm like, huh. Okay, well, I found where I can put it, and then I just started drilling holes because I'm
That's
like,
what she
well,
said.
yeah. Well, I cut out the insulation, and then I found the outside of the house,
Oh,
and
like,
and
hey, outside.
Yeah,
I have a window now.
I'm like, hey, look, there's like cracks, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I feel like
have a
it's the
window now.
1800,
That's what you should have done, is just installed a window.
right? Well, I'm not gonna lie. As soon as I
wish
cut
you
that, and
wouldn't.
like I'm just sitting in the room, like lights off, but with just sun coming down, I was like, God damn, natural light, like
Right.
like I
amazing.
already feel better,
The seasonal affective disorder in the summer is bullshit.
right? I was like, I need to cut a window out in this room, and maybe like I won't feel like a piece of shit laying in bed all the time.
Dave's the only person I know to get seasonal affective disorder in the summer.
Yeah.
I saw someone the other day say, like, I think I have inverted seasonal affective disorder because I move, and like this person and me,
Like
we are
seasonal affectionate disorder.
we are one and the same. This person potentially, they said, I moved to Seattle because it was going to be gray, cloudy, and rainy, and ever since I moved here, it's been fucking 100 degrees. What
Right.
the shit?
Nobody asked for this.
No, but I
Yeah.
moved. People, like, I've had this conversation with people before. It happens every time I mention I live in Seattle. Somebody says, "Oh, it rains there a lot." No shit.
Yeah.
And I tell them, I'm like, yeah, that's why I moved there. I moved there because I like wearing hoodies. I don't like being hot.
Right.
It's not that complex. Yeah, fucking
It's almost always stupid girls that want it to be hot.
Well, when it's hot, they get skimpy, and skimpy and stupid is okay.
They can do that when it's warm. I don't mind warm.
It's called
That's
a
fair.
heater.
When it's hot, I'm too concentrated on my fucking balls sticking to my leg.
And your hydration levels.
Yeah, I'm like, I gotta drink something.
He's got just baby powder and gator lights
Yeah.
lining the walls.
Baby Powder and Gator Lights is the name of my first album.
Gator light.
That's like, it sounds like Post Malone's follow up to what was it, Bong Rips and Bentleys? I think
Something
it's
like that.
Bong Rips and Bentleys was his first album. But to circle back to a question Robin asked 5 minutes ago, yes, I have seen some movies lately.
What'd you see?
I saw Godzilla X King Kong.
Is that the porno?
Yeah. No, that's Godzilla Triple X King Kong.
Oh, okay.
Ew.
Missing 2 X's.
Yeah. That movie fucking ruled. Loved almost every moment of it.
Pretty
There
good.
are times I'm not a Godzilla mark. I'm just not. Or excuse me, I am a huge Godzilla mark. I'm not a King Kong mark. So every time like King Kong gets fucked up and like humans have to help him, I'm like, really? Come on, you got to give him a metal tooth, and then you got to give him like
You get the power glove.
you got the power fist, and like Godzilla just shows up like, I'm
Power
gonna go
fist
kill
is
that motherfucker and take his power. Then I'm gonna kill that motherfucker and take his power. Then I'm gonna be fucking nuclear.
Yeah.
And then oh god, it was so cool. There's a scene where Godzilla's, I don't know what monster he was fighting, but it's got like Cthulhu-like mouth, and it's grabbed onto Godzilla
Yeah.
and it's pulling it down like it's gonna eat him, and you just hear the Godzilla powering up. Boom! fucking atomic breath through the face.
Yeah.
So cool. So good. Oh my God, I love that movie. It was better than Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah. It was a really fun movie.
And now like I'm taking a moment. I was about to watch Godzilla -1, but I didn't feel like reading a book.
Yeah, that's
So,
fair.
yeah, so I'm like,
Did you watch Monarch yet?
No, I haven't. What's that on?
Monarch is on Apple TV or Apple Plus, whatever the fuck it's called. Apple TV.
I'm gonna steal it as we're talking.
And it connects the last Kong Godzilla to this one.
Fuck
and
yeah.
fills in a whole bunch of stuff and makes all the little details make even more sense and better. Dave, did you watch that movie with me, the one that Jake was just talking about, or was that just Grayson?
We went out. That was the one I was super hammered at.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember now. Because didn't that chick say something to us?
Yeah, told us to be quiet, and then we could hear her talking.
And then we didn't be quiet.
Yeah, we didn't be quiet.
But you?
Right? Imagine that.
Well, one thing, this theater had 5 people in it, and she decided to sit 5 seats away from us.
Literally right behind us.
That's her fault.
That's on you.
Mm-hmm.
There's a billion seats, and you choose to sit next to 2 guys. Like,
yeah.
It's not just you two. Like, you guys may have a running dialogue through a movie. It's guys. If 2 guys are watching a movie together, if 2 dudes went to a movie to go see it together, they're going to talk through that entire movie.
Yeah.
And they're not doing it to be rude. They're doing it because they're fucking loving the movie.
Right. Because it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, like, oh, dude, this is what's going to happen. I bet he's going to get the sword, and he's going to stab him in the...
And I guarantee you, we appreciate everything more than you do.
We're talking like, dude, did you see that?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it has gotten to the... Well, one, I was pretty hammered. But it has gotten to a point where if there's not anyone in there, Rob and I are just like, normal conversations,
yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're in a place where you can do that.
Yeah.
Especially if it's an action scene and you're like,
dude, this
talking
is fucking
like
awesome.
this, and there's an explosion where you can't hear each other anyway.
Right.
So it's like, fuck you up
then
there.
We're talking like this, and the volume goes down. We're still talking like this.
I always wonder when I'm in a movie and I'm sitting there watching it, enjoying myself, and then there's the theater next to me. You just hear. They're
watching The Notebook and shit.
Like, that movie sounds so much better than what I'm watching.
Hey, did you unplug your mic?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it got
really
quiet.
You had to catch up.
There we go. Yeah, the old boy had to do some old boy shit. As I improve my setup, I'm realizing that it might be the cord now that is the weakest link in my microphone.
Yeah, could be.
So we're working on that. But yeah, that movie was great. I loved it. Yeah, I can't wait for the next one because I know they're gonna make another one.
There's definitely another one coming.
Dude, I'm so glad that kaiju movies made a comeback.
Yeah. Because they really stunk for a minute.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when Pacific Rim was the best one we'd had for a while,
which I hated.
It was not good. Yeah, and then they did a bunch of those weird movies, like what was that robot boxing movie where the guy like controlled that one? Yeah,
with Hugh Jackman.
Was that good? I never saw it.
I liked it. It wasn't bad.
I'm gonna go check it out then.
It's not the worst movie I've seen. Did you watch Alita? Like what is
Alita something angel like warrior.
Yeah.
Angel of fighting robot.
Warrior angel or something.
Similar kind of tone to that one.
Okay.
Yeah. And I like that movie
actually
too.
I did watch that Alita a little while back, mostly because when it first came out, I'm like, I've got no interest in watching this movie. And then it had been like 10 years and it popped up and I was like,
I'll watch it.
I've got nothing better to do at this moment.
Battle Angel,
there it is.
And it was very like Ready Player One-ish.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, because I remember that's what I thought of when I saw it again. I was like, well, I watched Ready Player One because I was super excited about that.
Yeah.
This kind of has the same feeling. I think I'm going to watch it.
They're making a sequel, I'm pretty sure, to both those.
Ready Player 2 and...
It should be Ready Player... Is it Ready Player 2?
Yeah, it is.
Good. All right.
That's the
and
book
it's Alita Battle...
Angel 2, Return to the Boogaloo.
Return of the Boogaloo.
The Boogaloo strikes back.
That would be a good name for the episode too.
It's
It's no, I'm not draking them, but it's pretty good.
Boogaloo's Revenge.
The Revenge of the Boogaloo. But the other movie I watched, different tone, equally as entertaining.
Oh, did you watch that?
And then another. Yeah, dude. Axel F. Top
Mhm.
notch. That
Good fucking
Is that what it was
movie.
actually?
fucking movie.
Is that what it's actually called?
Yeah.
Axel
Beverly Hills
F?
Cop Axel F.
Oh, okay. I was just like Beverly Hills Cop 4.
Right. I mean,
I
they're
don't
doing
know what else.
they're doing the Rambo thing.
Yeah.
But that movie, I was texting Robin while I was watching it, and
It was so good.
I'm sitting there. I'm kind of enjoying it as it starts. I'm like, okay, this is pretty good. All right, I see that. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Okay, I'm laughing. I'm enjoying it. And then they brought the moment where I absolutely fell in love with the movie. I texted
Surge
Rob.
comes back.
Surge comes back.
Yep, that's
Yep.
what I was waiting for the whole time.
Get
Because
the
I
fuck
think
outta
I
here.
mentioned
No,
it
I
like
cannot.
two times, 2 or 3 times before he actually showed up. I was like, "Is it Surge? Is it Surge?"
Yeah, because we definitely thought he got the suit from Surge.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here. No, I cannot. Surge,
Also,
he's
when
one of my
Rosewood,
favorite ancillary characters in any movie ever.
He's so good.
right?
It makes so much sense as just, oh yeah, of course he's still in LA. He's still doing what he's
Where else would
doing.
he be?
Same guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh my god. But the thing I like about it, and listen up, movie executives, they took the formula that y'all been fucking up now for like 3 or 4 years. You take a property that you like, you introduce a new character to it, and you continue the property. Rocky did that by introducing Adonis Creed. Now we're on to Creed 3. And everybody who likes Rocky, I shouldn't say that. That's not fair. I really like Creed. And I think they've done a very good job of carrying on the legacy and the saga while being true to the source material. There's a lot of complaints in modern media of things being too woke for the sake of being woke, adding a woman, adding a person of color for the sake of doing it. But in this instance, the way they did it in such a way that it made sense. His daughter is a defense attorney in Los Angeles who doesn't want to talk to him. That is a relatable story to everybody.
Yeah.
And the way that they didn't just say, okay, here's the new Axel, everybody. No, she was doing something different, but she was just as valuable to the outcome of the story as Axel was. But she wasn't trying to be another version of Axel. The same way I anticipate Falcon is going to try to be another version of Captain America, or so on and so forth. It's, to me, and that's my opinion. Robin rolled his head like he's got something to say.
No, I'm just thinking about it. Like I don't think that's what they're gonna do, because I feel like they've tried to keep him still
Right.
Falcon without making him.
Maybe it's a bad analogy.
He's Falcon America.
How about Woman Thor?
Yeah, okay, there's a better one.
There we go. Woman Thor. Yes, there is Jane Sanders as Thor. Yeah, and yes, comic book nerds. Ryan, I know. Okay. I know Thor's your boy. But
hey, Ryan, fuck you.
yeah, hey, you should have called me from like 6 years ago.
And that reminds me, a new episode of Beavis and Butthead tonight at 10. Yeah.
I wish I was smoking weed. God, I wish I could get high right now.
Oh
I
shit,
found my pen
9/11.
the other day.
It's not even 9/11 yet.
Not even 9/11. But
I looked at mine. I was like,
that statement might have raised a couple eyebrows to the listener there, because they may know that I'm the ranking weed guy around here.
hey, weed guy.
But
Everyone fucks with Dr. Shockaloo.
I made a
That's
decision.
Jake is Dr. Shockaloo.
I don't know. I don't get it.
Grandma's boy.
Grandma's boy.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Nobody fucks with a tiger, bro.
Why don't you just get a dog?
Just talk. So I made a decision a couple weeks ago to basically ship a thesis myself and throw all my energy and attention towards becoming a master electrician. And in 6 years, I'll be able to start my own business and stop making money for other people, which is fucking great. But this 4 years right now is going to be a bit of a bitch.
Lots of reading.
Lots of reading. But today I filed the application and I got my license number. I am officially an electrical trainee in the state of Washington. So once my blood is no longer green, I will enter an apprenticeship program.
Being a duck, it doesn't ever change.
Yeah, well, but the THC content can go down.
That's for sure.
I'm pretty sure
football season coming up, dude.
Well, you say that, Dave, but if I'm in my program, I'm not smoking weed. Like it's this.
Not until you're your own boss.
Not until I can safely do it. Not until I'm in a union.
Man, he's gonna be so fucking high.
Oh my God, can you imagine how high I'm gonna get after not being high for a while?
Because you're gonna be like, oh, I can smoke this much. No, I can't.
I will. You see, I'm from the school of Dirty Harold, though. A man's got to know his limitations. If there's one thing I would like to think is that you guys could attest to this. For the most part, I know my limits.
Usually, yeah.
Unless the drinks are free.
Which happens a lot.
Which happens.
Well, also, like, I know my limits, too. But I also know when I can fuck my limits.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Like I
football, fuck
like,
your limits.
Yeah. How many games that I drove to that I had to actually drive? Did I have my drinks, but got a little tipsy, but I was fine. And then all the times I don't drive, I don't have a limit anymore.
Which was all last season.
Yeah, all of last season.
One Dave last
game.
year.
One game I had to drive to.
Yep.
Because I showed up right at kickoff.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait. We're like 8 weeks away. The fucking 6 days. 6 days until College Football 25 comes out, and I'm unemployed, so I'll get to play it all fucking day. Like I was gonna take this day off work. I was planning on.
Should.
Yeah, I was planning on taking the day off when the game came out,
Mm-hmm.
but now the day's off for me.
What day is it on?
7.5 weeks.
For people who aren't
August
going to
31st.
pre-order, it will be the 19th. For people who pre-order, it's the 16th.
Okay, I'm just gonna pre-order it tonight.
Yep. I'm pre-ordering it on Friday.
Because that gives me
you're not pre-ordering it right now.
that gives me 2 days. That gives me 2 days to play before I have to go to work.
Yep. That also reminds me of something else I watched. I watched season 3 of Shorzy.
Hey.
Wait,
Yeah, I got all this
about it a little bit because you started it.
Yeah, but now I'm through it. I have finished part 1 of Shorzy.
I thought we talked about it last week.
Did we?
Yeah, and you were because I remember you saying I'm done with part 1 of Shorzy.
Okay, well then, hell.
You said those words.
Because I said something. I went and found the text, the short box, or whatever.
Yes. Look, check out the space on this sporty short box.
And we're not rolling yet. No, I was just practicing how I was gonna say it.
That was probably the funniest scene in the entire season.
It was pretty good.
Just
It was pretty good.
Because for me, as someone who's worked in local journalism, that's the kind of stuff that happens all the time.
Yeah.
These are the things that are just nobody knows about except for the 11 people who were there. But the fact that these 4 guys were doing this over and over and over and over and over, they were cutting up, they were like, that happens all the time and nobody knows about it. Fucking
we should
great.
start a media company in Eugene and do all the commercials with the athletes.
Don't tempt me. Stop tickling my marketing bone.
Because I feel like we've got all the bases covered.
Yeah.
By we, do you mean like you and Jay? Because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
No, but we can get Bales and Ben.
We need Bales.
Come in on there. Because Bales has got connections in Eugene now with all the fucking sports groups.
I'll just be the fixer. How about that?
Somebody's gonna have to build the stage.
Yeah. I know a
That's a lot of
guy,
work.
and hey, I'll fucking wire that bitch.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm all over the
Jake
board
is
today.
just Danny McBride from Tropic Thunder.
I really am. We're gonna
Oh,
put some
motherfucker.
tiger bombs on this house's nuts. So my grandpa, as you may know, he spent like 60 years being a finished carpenter. So anything that I learned about building a house, I learned from watching him do it. No one ever taught me anything because he didn't have fucking time.
That's how a lot of people are, but yeah.
Yeah. So when I was down in Eugene last week and a half ago, I told him what my plans are, what I'm planning on doing with Tabor Brothers Electric, and he's like, "Well, come here. I want to show you something. Like, come out to the shop. I want to show you something." I'm like, okay, like you've shown me the shop about 100 times. Like, right now there's no roof on the shop because of all the ice damage and everything. So he's shown me like, look at all this garbage. Look at what they've done.
Look at this damage.
Look at this bullshit. Is essentially what I'm the only person who can genuinely understand. Look at this bullshit.
Yeah.
But he takes me out to the shop and it's stripped down to the studs. And he says, "Okay, come over here. This is here's the panel box, right? And you see, you got these, and he just shows me how this entire shop is wired, how things are daisy chained into one another, how things. And he's like, look at this. And see, now come over here. You see, I have this breaker box. I did this one, and he's like, this is a 30 amp breaker. It goes specifically to that. This one's a 20 amp breaker, and it only contains this one. This is another 20 amp breaker in it, and he's just like, I'm sitting there like, this is so overbuilt. I love it. Just. There's one thing that won't happen in this shop. It's an electrical fire.
Right.
That's damn sure.
Man, I wish you'd have seen Gramps' electrical.
Oh, I imagine it was just a fucking dumpster.
So good. Because he did it all himself.
Was he good at it?
I mean, it worked.
Okay.
That's
That's the
literally
thing.
how his things, like,
Yeah.
did it
no, I know
work?
Gramps.
Did it not work? Done.
It's funny because the house that my grandparents live in before was built in 1903, and there goes my camera again. What the hell? That was weird. But when they remodeled the house, they took out the front porch, and there was a rock that was about this big, holding up the corner of the house, and then there was a gap about this big in the foundation next to the rock. And then we had lath and plaster, and then it was wired in the 1900s. So it's just got all these old ass asbestos wires and shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was so nasty. One of the worst things I've ever seen. But now it's all wired. Now there's fucking beautiful.
When you said 1900s, I'm like, dude, it wasn't that long ago. And then I'm like, wait, hold on. It's been 24 years.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Time for my list.
Oh, yep. Let's get it.
Okay.
List.
I'm not gonna tell you what you're picking.
Lisp.
You guys decide what you're picking. Bradley Cooper or Chris Evans?
Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Nope.
Bradley
Chris
Cooper
Evans.
or Chris
Back up.
Pratt?
Chris Evans.
Oh, well, I'll pick Bradley Cooper then. Because I'd already marked him. Bradley Cooper or Chris Pratt?
Bradley Cooper.
Cooper.
Bradley Cooper or Chris Pine?
Who's
Cooper.
Chris Pine?
He's the new Kirk.
The dude on, the new Kirk on the new Star Trek movies. Or the
He was
dude
also in the
that was on
Dungeons
Wonder
and Dragons.
Woman. The guy from Wonder Woman.
Not him. I didn't see Wonder Woman.
Okay. Chris Hemsworth or Bradley Cooper?
Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth or Mark Ruffalo?
Ruffalo.
Hemsworth.
Ooh. I'm going to say Hemsworth still.
Fuck.
Vince Vaughn or Chris Hemsworth?
Vince Vaughn.
I'm gonna go with Vaughn. I still haven't decided what I'm picking these names for.
Vince Vaughn or Owen Wilson?
Owen Wilson.
Vince Vaughn.
Ooh. Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn or Patrick Dempsey?
Vince Vaughn.
Who's Patrick Dempsey?
He drove the 24 hour of Le Mans.
He hasn't watched that.
Pass.
Okay, Vince Vaughn.
What's the next?
Vince Vaughn or James Marsden?
Vaughn.
I'll go Vaughn.
Sam Jackson or Vince Vaughn?
Samuel L.
Jackson.
Jackson.
Sam Jackson or Nick Cage?
Samuel L. Jackson.
I would say Sam Jackson most of the time, but then you threw out Nick Cage.
I know, right?
But I'll go Sam Jackson.
My criteria is changing from
Sam Jackson or Jack Black?
Jack Black.
Jack Black.
Nice. Jack Black or Robert Downey Jr.?
Jack Black.
Yeah, Jack Black.
Kevin Costner or Jack Black?
Jack Black.
Jack Black.
Tom Cruise or Jack Black?
Jack Black.
Jack Black.
Jack Black or Val Kilmer?
He was Doc Holliday.
He was also Iceman.
Yeah, right. You go to one of my favorite people to one of my favorite actors.
I know.
I'm gonna go Kilmer. Val Kilmer. Fuck it.
Oh,
I'll go with you. I'll go with Kilmer
okay. Val Kilmer
because
or
I've
Ben
got no
Affleck?
criteria.
Kilmer or Affleck?
Kilmer.
Kilmer.
Kilmer or Matthew McConaughey?
McConaughey.
All right.
All right. Have you seen The Gentleman?
No.
Not yet. Oh
Watch
wait, yeah. Is that the one where he's the weed dealer in
Yes.
England?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
he's
good.
I'll go with McConaughey
All right.
because I know if I pick Val Kilmer, Robin's just
Matthew
gonna pick
McConaughey or Matt Damon? Matt Damon.
Yeah, Dean.
McConaughey.
McConaughey.
Henry Cavill or Matthew McConaughey?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Because now I have my criteria.
I still don't have one. I'm going with Cavill.
I'm gonna take Cavill too.
Oh, Henry
Upset.
Cavill or The Rock?
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill or Ryan Reynolds?
Henry Cavill.
Yeah, I'm still gonna go with Cavill. I've picked a criteria too.
Henry Cavill or George Clooney?
Cavill.
Ooh. Clooney. Clune dog. Give me the Clune dog.
Ooh. Yeah, George Clooney wins.
Ah.
George Clooney or Burt Reynolds?
Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds or Brad Pitt?
Burt Reynolds.
Okay, that was it. Burt Reynolds is your winner.
All
I
right.
don't know what he won for because they didn't tell me.
He's the winner of Who Would You Rather Have a Beer With?
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I thought it was who you wanted to sleep with, but all right, we'll go with that one.
Every time you say a new matchup, my head would go to a different topic. So I'd be like, oh,
Same.
that guy.
Well, that's how the chick one was when I watched the video. They didn't tell you what the topic was. So then
Yeah.
I was like, well, who's hotter?
Right.
Right. Well, when you went to Henry Cavill, I'm like, dude, Henry Cavill, I think he's cool. Like he's a jacked up actor nerd.
Okay.
A huge dork.
Like he's a huge dork that's just ripped as hell. I'm like, yes, that's my dude.
How many black dudes were on that list?
One.
1.5. The Rock.
Who's the half?
The
The
Rock.
Rock.
Oh, right.
He doesn't count. He doesn't use
His
the N-word.
dad is black as shit.
He's never
His
said
dad-
the
His
N-word.
dad is black as shit. You know, these people,
You
they could have
people.
been anywhere in the world, but they're here with us. We appreciate that. Make sure you're checking us out on YouTube. You can see the pre-show. You can see us be funny until Dave gets here. And then
There's a good solid 20 minutes,
we were ripped.
and it
We
was
were
not
riffed.
bad.
Yeah. But for this episode, this edition of my show, good night, universe.
Until we meet again!
Good Ducks.
Good night.
Go Ducks.
Yeah.
make sure to go and check out definitelynotsellingdrugs.com.